Hey, we're back. It's been a minute, but we are definitely back. And got anything you want to say to the people since it's been such a while since we?
What's up?
But today we're going to be talking safety checks. Something you should do prior to pulling out, especially if you have air brakes. So today we're going to talk a little bit about brakes, but mostly about air brakes. So, as usual, remember to subscribe, like, and ring the bell. You didn't say your ding loud enough. Say your ding just a little louder because if you like our content. Thank you. Hey, I was talking to a guy in the RV park, and he was telling me about an event that he had where his air brakes went out, the alarm came on, and he was trying to rush to get off the road because if he didn't, he was going to end up with no brakes, and that was going to be a disaster because trying to get stopped with no brakes. It's not totally true. If your brake system loses air, and if it loses enough air, your emergency brakes will automatically engage. But prior to leaving and taking off, you should conduct an air brake test and an air test, period, to make sure that your air brakes and make sure your brakes are functioning properly. There's two different tests. You got your brake test, and then you have your air test. Your brake test is going to consist of your parking brake / emergency brake, and then you're going to have your service brake. That's one test. So your parking brake, service brake is one test. Then you will have another test, which is actually 3 tests that's considered to be in the same family of checking your air pressure, making sure your air pressure holds. Before you do any of these tests, the air test, you want to make sure you have your wheels chalked. The emergency brake and the service brake, you want to do that. Wheels don't have to be chalked for this one, but you are ready to leave. You're disconnected, chalks in, slides in. You're getting ready to pull out of your spot and hit the road. And before you hit the road, you're going to test your emergency brakes. You're going to test your service brakes. Make sure that they're working properly. There's 2 types of brakes for RVs. Actually 2 types of air brakes, period. So you'll have your disc brakes and your drum brakes. Our coach has disc brakes. Yours may have drums. The brake test should be conducted on all RVs, even if you don't have air, because a lot of the travel trailers and the fifth wheels, they have brakes that's connected to the truck or the tow vehicle, and you can test them by putting your tow vehicle in gear, let it roll forward a little bit, and apply the brakes, because you can apply the brakes manually. Apply the brakes manually and see if it stops the vehicle. Okay, but that's just letting it roll slow forward, see if it stops the vehicle. So we're gonna go on board. I'm gonna air up the tanks, and then I'm gonna show you how to do the air test for your RV, for your air brakes. And don't necessarily have to show you how to do the emergency brakes and the service brakes. And when I say service brakes, I'm talking about your foot pedal. That's the foot pedal you push down on to stop, let go, and it goes. So service brake and foot pedal is the same thing. Emergency brakes, park brake is the same thing. Because when the guy was telling me that he was about to run out of air and he was going to lose his brakes, the reason that's not totally true is if you have a leak in your airline and you get your warning that you're losing air in your for your brakes, the warning to come on, your brakes are semi-stop working, but when your air gets down to a certain PSI, your park brakes / emergency brake will automatically kick on. And I'll demonstrate that to you once we go inside the coach. So you're never gonna be totally without brakes. The other problem though is if you're losing air, you need to get off the road, get off the road as quick as possible and as safe as possible, because once you lose enough air, your emergency / park brakes will engage and you won't be able to move the vehicle, because air brakes, your emergency park brake, don't require air to work. It's the lack of air or the removal of air which makes it work. Air pressure holds your spring brake, keeps it off the drum or keeps it off the disc. If you lose all of the air to your spring brakes engage. So remember, no air means that your park brake, emergency brakes engage. Air keeps them from engaging. So when you push in your air brakes, what you're doing is you're cutting off air to the spring brakes. Once you cut off, you pull it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
When you pull your air brakes, when you pull out the level, it engages by cutting off the air to your spring brakes. And when you push it in, it allows air to go to the spring brakes, which makes the spring brakes come up off the drum or release the disc. So I had that a little bit backwards, but I got Sheila here to keep me straight because she's also an expert on these brake things. You got anything you want to add?
Exactly what he said. Couldn't have said it any better.
So we're gonna go inside and we're going to show you how to do the air check for the prior to you leaving and getting on the way. All right, let's go inside. Okay, I've allowed the air pressure to build up, and now I'm gonna shut the coach off. Once I shut the coach off, I'm gonna turn the ignition back on. And now that the ignition is back on, we can see where the air pressure is at. 111, 109. The first test we're going to do is, because the wheels are chalked, we're going to go ahead, we're going to push in the park brakes. So the park brakes are now released. And now I'm going to push down on the service brake. I'm going to push down on the service brake. I'm going to hold the service brake for 1 minute. Within 1 minute, my air pressure should not drop more than 3 degrees, and that is standard by the Department of Transportation. Now, I'm not going to sit here a whole minute. Just know that this is a 1 minute check, and you're going to make sure that your air pressure don't drop more than 3 psi. Did I say 3 degrees a while ago?
Yeah, you did.
I said 3 degrees.
You said 3 degrees.
I meant 3 psi. My bad. Now, after the 1 minute, you go straight into your low air pressure test. In your low air pressure test, according to DOT, prior to 55 psi, you should have an alarm to come on, and to let you know that you have low air before it gets below 55 psi. So how you do that is we're going to just fan off the brake, and you can see my alarm popped on at 57 psi. And it's like, okay, now that's for your low pressure. After your low pressure come on, if you're still losing air prior to your air getting below 20 psi, your emergency brake / park brake will automatically kick on and your vehicle is going to stop. So if you continue to fan, you will see that park brake will kick out automatically by herself. And that's because you've gotten down, and it's always going to happen above 20 psi. So it should happen in between 20 and 45 psi according to DOT. Also, you can check with your manufacturer to see what your manufacturer levels is for when these things kick on. Your manufacturer level can be higher, but it cannot be below the 20 psi for emergency. It cannot be below 55 for your warning. Okay, so that's what it is to check in and make sure your air. And once you check and these things happen, they fire up, you can go ahead then and start your engine and let your air pressure build back up. So now we know that our air is working. We don't have any leaks, and we're ready to get on the road. Okay, so at this point here, when we are ready to get on the road, we are ready to pull out of our site. This is when we can put the vehicle in gear. We can put her in gear. This is the chocks have been removed because we're ready to go. So the chocks are not under the tires no more. We're ready to go. We can put the vehicle in gear, and with the emergency brake out, this vehicle shouldn't move. We didn't move. Okay? We can push in. So we push in the park brake, and when we bring our foot off the pedal, we should start moving. Now we know the park brake works, and we know that the service brake works. Okay? So that's your brake check, and that's something you should do every time you get ready to go. Okay? So let's go ahead and put this back into neutral. Thank you, Sheila, for showing me. Girl, you know some stuff. I didn't know you knew that much stuff. Okay, so we are back in neutral. Park brake is on, and air is building back up. Now, we're not actually about to leave. I was just demonstrating this, so we're not really leaving. So I'm gonna let my air build back up. Unless you got somewhere you want to go.
I got a Jeep.
Okay, and once the air build back up, we are ready to get up out of here. Okay, that's it for your air checks. Do a countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay.
5, 4. Okay, that was you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, that was the service brakes. The service brakes, your emergency / park brakes. And as I said before, your service brake and your pedal brake is the same thing. It's just some people call them different. Some say service, some say pedal. Your park brake and your emergency brake is the same brake. Okay, like I said before, it's a spring brake. And the descriptions, in the descriptions, I'll put the step-by-step in the descriptions so that you can look at that, go step-by-step how to do the check. Because I know I done messed up some words. I'm pretty sure I done messed up a few words. But we'll get that out to you. And also, what is it? Mother's Day.
Yep. Sure is.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. What?
What? Ain't nothing.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies that's had to be somebody's mother, regardless if you had them or not. There's a bunch of y'all out there that's being somebody's mom. Happy Mother's Day to you too. So with that said, video kind of short today.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Short,
Just
sweet.
like we like it.
You got anything you want to add before we go?
No. I think you said it all. I'm a fool.
All right. Anyway, hey, as usual, see Sheen out, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.